Hey guys, and welcome back to another episode or another lesson with me, Jermaine Morgan. This is Jermaine Morgan TV. We are in our ear training series. We've been doing these. This is our third one that we're doing. I took an old track today that I'm going to use. It's not that old, but it's an older track that I'm going to use. Some of you guys may have already played to this, but I will link that track in the description. I will link it at the end of this video. After I repost it, I'll put it in the comments. I'll pin it to the comments so you guys can go back and find this track and jam out to it. All right, so this track will be in the key of C sharp or D flat, depending on how you want to think about it. Go ahead and grab your bass. We're going to jump right into this. Hopefully by now, if you guys have been watching these, you know, as soon as I jump on here live with these ear training series, you got to get your bass and get ready to jump into it. I wanted to use this track. I was playing through this track. I went through some of my older tracks, and we're probably going to go through and cover a few of them. I was playing through this track, and this is one of those tracks that I feel like a lot of bass players struggle with knowing what to play when they hear a track like this in terms of playing through it, because it feels like a lot going on, and it's like, okay, what do I add when something is moving? So without further ado, I'm going to play the track. You know how we do the rundown. I'll play through it. I'm gonna let you listen to it first. We'll play through it, get the progression, and then we'll start switching off. But the aim here, if you're new to me, if you're new to this series that I'm doing, this is an interactive series. I want you to play along with me. The aim here is for you to stretch your mind, stretch your thoughts. I haven't spent a lot of time going over this track because I want to do it real time, pull out some ideas real time, play them, let you play them back. Just so we can kind of see and come up with it. It's kind of like us, you sitting in the studio with me, and we just going back and forth over ideas of what might work over this, because oftentimes you guys don't get an opportunity to do that with me, I know. So here's the opportunity that we get to do this together. So here's the track. That's the whole progression. Really, really simple. We're going to keep it simple today. Again, this is one of those things in more modern worship in our churches and that type of thing. That might be a type of groove, you know, with the more modern CCM-ish feeling and stuff. And so a lot of times we don't really know what to add. So I'll play through it. We're going to play it straight, and then we're going to start building it. Let's back up a little bit. All right, so without saying or over teaching in this, because it's the ear training series, here's what I'm doing. I'm going to play it slow. Now, that's a move that I did just to kind of get around without like adding too much to it. So when we're going the progression again, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1. Right? And so that's the whole thing. So I'm going. You try it. Do it again. Right? And that's a way that you can move around over the groove. And something else that I like using, I said a lot of this, is using the octaves and fifths. Right? So those little things that I'm using like that. And I generally want to use those sparingly. I don't want to use them all over the place, but you'll see them sprinkled throughout this group. So I'm going to play through it a few times and see if you can kind of pick and catch it, and then we'll start trading off. All right, let's go back. Right. And so another thing that you want to catch is like the little rhythmic ghost notes that I'm doing in between the groove. It's subtle, but it's little stuff like that that add and fill up without taking over the groove and sound like you're soloing over the groove. So again, let's get back in it. You have it by now. Ready for your turn? All right, full chords, let's jump back in. All right, so I know somebody's gonna say something about that when we went to the 4, so. Not gonna teach it, I want you to catch it. Now, I will say this in terms of what I'm doing and how I'm moving around. I try to add the feels or the lines over stuff that I'm sustaining. If it's a fast move, like, I'm not gonna put anything between that 1 and that 2. Most of the time, I'm not gonna put anything between that 3 and that 4. So it's like the notes that I'm sustaining are the ones that I would generally try to put something over. So and you have to be precise with that. So do it again. I play a variation of it, but all it is, but you got to get into it quick. So it's over the 4, the F sharp. I'm sorry, I'm used to being tuned flat. So and that's another thing you can often do in stuff like this is play the actual melody. If there is a melody, like that melody only happens, I'm considering the part where everybody is in, I'm considering that like the chorus. So I might grab that line. I won't do it all the time. As a bass player, you want to be subtle in when you do certain things because it has more of a lasting impact. If you do it too early or too much, it feels like you're overplaying when you're playing the bass. It feels like you're really overplaying if like you're overdoing like It sounds good every once in a while, but if you keep doing it repetitiously over and over and over again, people are going to get wore out with it. So you want to kind of sparingly use that. All right, let's get back in it. I'm going to do that again. Try it. I'm gonna play it again. I want you to try that. Got the rhythm wrong. I'm gonna do it again. You try it. Bum, 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 bum. Do it again. Do it again. We can play with the rhythm. Okay, you play with the rhythm this time. Try to be percussive with it. Let me play the notes really short. I'll play it again to give you an idea. I'll do it again. You. Ideally, that would feel good over like the verse or a more mellow instead of over the big one. So right there, I'll show you, kind of show you what I did. So. Something like that I did. So I'm really just kind of playing. That's why I have to record that stuff, because I don't remember what I played, but it's something in the neighborhood of. So you can take those, basically it's like using that major pentatonic, and it's a variation of that. Something like that. And you literally can use that almost anywhere around that groove. And I'm starting. And let me me make this disclaimer for anybody who is joining in and you haven't been used to what I'm doing here, because I know I have the people, you're moving too fast, or you're not explaining what you're playing. This series that I'm doing here is strictly about ear training. And let me give a disclaimer, because I've been posting some videos on Facebook with guitar, and what I'm noticing is people can over obsess about the rules and forget about the effectiveness of what it is that they're doing or what it is that you're playing, because they're so obsessed with getting the rules right. People are not reading the manual when they're listening to music. People are listening to what you're playing. So don't over obsess over the rules or over the theory behind what you're doing. It's important to know it, and it helps to know it, but sometimes we can over obsess over the theory behind what it is we're doing, instead of playing the music and actually enjoying what it is you're playing. So again, what I did, I have to go back and listen to the video to even hear what I did on the fly, but it was like I don't even remember what I did. It was on the fly. But anyway, it's I know it was a variation. And so I encourage you guys, as you're doing these things, you're hearing me play this stuff real time. This ain't edited. It ain't scripted. In these sessions, my idea is to be as organic as possible, so you can kind of get, often the question that I get asked a lot of times is, dude, what are you thinking when you're coming up with these things? So that's, in this ear training series, it's my attempt to try real time to allow you guys to see the process of me working through these things, so you can hopefully hear something that inspires you, or something that triggers you to think about something that maybe, okay, I can play the pentatonic or the minor or major pentatonic. I just haven't thought to use it that way, or I didn't think to use it over this particular context. So that's the idea behind what I'm doing here. So let's do a little bit more trading off, and then we'll jump off. All right, here we go. Your turn. I'm subdividing. Play over that rhythm. Somebody said the music is too loud. Say it a little nicer, man. Let's do it again. You. So again, what I was doing is moving back what I was talking about earlier, using the octaves and the fifths. That's a good way to move around the groove. And so hopefully these things, these few tips and us playing together have triggered some things that you can do, or just giving you some thoughts and some ideas. Again, this is not a lesson where I'm going to teach you a whole bunch of licks and that kind of thing. I just want to give you ideas. I want to help you to think and to listen. If you found something that I played earlier and you want to figure it out, that's the point. Go back and figure out what it is. It's not something super elaborate. It's something simply to get you to start listening a little bit more. If you're not already doing it, I know some of you guys are already doing it. You listen very well in terms of the detail of the music. There are 3 levels of listening that I often teach with my students. Any of you guys that might be watching that are some of my students, I talk about the 3 levels of learning. Level 1, learn the meat and potatoes of the song. Level 2, learn how they're moving around the groove. Like, how are they moving? That's some of what we were kind of dealing with today. And then level 3 is the fine detail in when you're listening to the records, what's being played. Because when you're listening to the fine detail of the record, you can hear all the little nuances, all the little special things with the slides, the rhythmic stuff, the percussive stuff that people are doing, all these different things. You can pull that out of the actual record. And again, these live sessions are my attempt to get you to kind of lean in and listen a little bit more. The rhythmic thing that we were doing, we were pulling from the percussive instruments, like dun, 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 dun. Dun, 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 dun. Like, if you listen closely, I'm gonna play it real quick. If you listen closely, you can hear the kalimba or something like that, something in the track that's playing that rhythm. You might not hear it in a track when you're playing live, but you may hear like the drummer or the keyboard player or the guitar player playing some counter rhythm that you can always pull from and play off of. So that's where I pulled it from. So here it is in context. You can hear it. So if I wanted to, I can literally take every instrument of that track and start pulling apart things that I can pull from. Not necessarily playing exactly what they're playing, but what I'm playing, but the rhythmic stuff that's happening in the track that I can use to build stuff off of. So oftentimes when I'm thinking, it's not so much a thinking thing as it is a feel. When I'm listening, I'm trying to listen to everything that's going on around me and pull. That's just like being a good band member. You're listening to everybody in the band. But if you're only focusing on what you're doing, and you're only focusing on trying to sound good yourself, then chances are you're going to miss something that's happening around you. The intent of anything that I try to teach, I want to help you to play better with the band. Unless you're a solo artist, and even in that, you still got to play with a band. But the idea is to have a better arsenal of tools to work with. So when you're playing in these band settings, as most of us do, you're able to contribute something that builds the sound of the overall band. Of course, you sounding good individually helps that, but it's not something that the spotlight should constantly be on you. It's something that whatever you do should shine a light on the entire band and make the band sound good. Okay, so those are my thoughts about that today. Oh man, I done went over time. I should have been done 4 minutes ago. But anyway, I thank you all for joining me live today. I'm hoping that you're enjoying this. Do me a huge favor. If you're not subscribed, be sure to hit that subscribe button. Turn on my bell notifications, because you don't know when I'm gonna pop up with these in person or these live ear training sessions, and you don't want to miss them. And share this with somebody that you think this would be helpful for, even if with your band. Even if they don't play the bass, they might find something in this that's helpful for them. So be sure and share this. And if you guys want to, I don't usually say anything about this, but if you guys want lessons or that type of thing from me, I do offer lessons. Most of my lessons are video lessons, by the way. I do one-on-one lessons, but Those are sparing. I don't have a lot of time to do those. So majority of my lessons are on JermaineMorgan.net. They are pre-recorded videos that you can basically see the lesson. I'm breaking down everything that I'm doing if you want to get a little bit more in depth on this gospel stuff. However, if you want coaching, I do offer one-on-one coaching, whether that be bass coaching, whether that be you trying to push forward in your musical career. Had a coaching call this week. One of my students got a coaching call today as well. So if you guys do want that one-on-one, it ain't free. Just FYI. But I'll try to put a link to that as well if you guys want to get with me one-on-one and talk about this stuff, about what you're doing in your career and that type of thing. I wanted to make sure I made that available to you guys. If you want to know about that, we'll put that information out there. But again, thank y'all for rocking with me today. I will see y'all on the next time I go live. All right, I'm out. Peace.